How you doing, YouTube? Underworld 6667 here with Draco DMD. And since Halloween is this coming Wednesday, we've decided to spice up the intro as I have gotten Devin a costume and Devin in turn has gotten my costume. Now because I'm very proud of mine, I'm going to start first. There you are.
Oh, great wrapping job.
It's not Christmas.
Look at the hard work here, guys. It's a flat paperish mask. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
You don't like it?
No, it's crap. What the hell? Is it $1?
Well, what did you buy me?
The greatest present ever? Are you just gonna stare at it, or are you gonna try it on?
Alright. Aw, yeah. Sexy. Are you crazy? You really think I'm gonna put that on? Why wouldn't you turn off the video? All the way from Tokyo, Japan to Toronto, here's another episode of Blunders. In today's episode of Blunders, we are going to be talking about Ycs Rhode Island.
Why it's important, what happened, our opinions on it, and what's going to happen after this.
Of course, we have to start off with the top 16 breakdown of decks.
So there was 5 agent decks, 4-ish Gear decks.
Machina Gear thingies.
Yeah, Karakuris, blah blah blah.
And then one-ofs.
Yeah, lots of one-ofs, okay? You go anywhere from gadgets to GBs to Gravekeepers to Chaos Dragons.
Sea Lancer Monarch
Two different types of Monarchs, so they're not the same because one of them had Synchro shenanigans, the other one had stall tactics, obviously, with the Sea Lancer.
Crazy.
So, pretty cool, pretty diverse. Very surprising Sea Lancer could top at this point in time, to be honest with you. However, with Monarchs, they technically have a good matchup against Agents. So, with the influx of Agents, Monarchs become better by accident.
Now what you can do, if you don't know what we're talking about and you haven't seen any of the deck lists, we actually have a playlist on the channel. So all you need to do is click the Underworld 6667 box right here to go to the channel, view all the decks in the playlist, and you know what's going on in this video.
So let's talk about the meta. Let's talk about the game, its whole state of game, it's everything that we're worried about and what we're thinking.
Now, to be perfectly honest, I think the game is not as good as it once was. You have all these a million decks. You can't ever play an anti-meta deck. You never know what you're gonna face during the any time in the tournament. You're like, oh, I hope I face my best matchup. I hope I face my best matchup. Oh, it's a mediocre matchup, and I can't really do anything against it. Hopefully, I draw better than my opponent.
He's wrong. Long story short, we complained for years that we had one cookie cutter deck, which to be fair was never a theme deck. It was chaos, return, more chaos, more return, and always revolving dark and light monsters. Okay? It was boring. Themes finally started prevailing kind of during GBs.
Glad Beast, yeah.
Okay? GBs were the first theme deck ever that was able to top a real event. Okay? Ever.
And I know a lot of you guys are going to either say plants or heroes with the Tigro and all that kind of stuff. No. Monarchs, no. It was a partial Monarchs. Once again, we're not going to get into the whole, there's 4 cards in that entire deck that is apparently the deck.
Either way, we complained about diversity, and Konami technically did it, okay? The problem is, not all decks are equal, okay? You have Gravekeepers, which are fun, consistent, and slow. You face some jerk who's Gear in your face, or whatever
Wind-up loop.
Whatever wind-ups do nowadays, right? Putting a whole bunch of monsters on the field for free. It's hard to come back from these situations, okay? And if you don't have a deck that can handle it, you're in trouble. And then if you face a deck that's completely off the wall, you're in more trouble. So what do you need to do? You need to play your deck as best as you possibly can with lots of practice, facing every type of deck there is, and knowing what you can do to beat these decks.
Like Bo-Tang did. Bo-Tang brought back Dino Rabbits. He's been playing this for a while. He was able to top with it. Same guy with the zombie guy. Nareg was playing zombies in YCS Toronto. He now played in YCS Rhode Island. He didn't top in YCS Toronto. He did top in YCS Rhode Island. Apparently, he's been playing it for a while. That's why he became good at it. That's why he knew all the ins and outs. That's why he won.
It all comes down to playing. You have to play the game to be better at the game. You have to practice the game to be better at the game, and you have to read cards and know what the heck's going on. With another set just on the horizon, more things are going to change, and water decks are going to become very, very, very prevalent. Be ready for it. Read ahead. Start looking into what the OCG is playing.
If you don't know what you're going to do in that kind of a situation, you're not going to do well. Every single deck has 1, 2, 8, 12, 13 boss monsters or boss things that they can do. Gravekeepers have Royal Tribute to name one. Windups have all the windup monsters. Agents have Hyperion, Blackluster Soldier, Chaos Sorcerer, so on and so forth. Dragons have all these big huge dragons. Everyone's complaining that there are way too many big boss cards in a single deck. But if you think about it, every single deck has that. And if it doesn't have that, they're not winning anyway.
Exactly.
This entire format, it seems to be two separate decks in the top. I mean, when plants were plants, most of the time it was plants versus plants in the finals. Even in, like, nationals, it was windups versus windups in the finals. This is a format of one-ofs. This is the format where you can only be good if you practice, know the ins and outs of your deck, and are just lucky sometimes.
It really comes down to luck and having a proper matchup. Because, for example, how do you go to the top 16 with no windups left? Okay, clearly everyone had a game plan to beat the shit out of windups. And they did. Okay, but no one was ready for agents. But they probably had pissed matchups. That's probably what it came down to.
Dark Worlds was another way down their deck that everyone was so popular in the beginning. Everyone loved Dark Worlds. Where were they? Everyone loved windups and said they were the best deck ever. People cited things for it, they died.
So the next problem is Girgias, right? System downs are going to become prevalent, and Girgias are probably going to get pooped on really hard.
Not to mention, Cyber Dragon sort of works with a lot of different decks. If your opponent is playing Gravekeepers, you put in Cyber Dragons. They're that much stronger. If your opponent's playing anything with regards to machines, they're that much stronger. Last but not least, as we discussed earlier in this video, we have a new set coming out. Abyss Rising. Now, everyone's wondering, where is Underworld 6667 and, by the way, Draco DMD going to play? And that's at Teddy and Me North. That's in Brampton Shoppers World. You can find the link below to the store's website, so you can either go to Teddy and Me South, which is in Mississauga, or Teddy and Me North, which is in Brampton. We'll see you there, and please, when you're there, do not make those binder blunders.